Now let's look on the other side, at Russia. What is Moscow doing as the West wrings its hands? Well, Moscow is busy holding its largest naval drills since the Soviet era.
For the first time in the last 3 decades, we are conducting such large-scale exercises at sea. They will be held simultaneously in the waters of the Pacific and Arctic Oceans, the Mediterranean, Caspian, and Baltic Seas.
The drills have been dubbed Ocean 2024, and they are well underway. Take a look at this. Russia isn't shy when it comes to showing off its naval power. The Russian Defense Ministry keeps sharing footage from the drills. Here's some footage that was shared a few hours ago. It shows Russia's night drills. They tested out the Kh-35 Uran cruise missiles. They were fired from a corvette. Other warships launched Moskit anti-ship cruise missiles, lighting up the sea. And on shore, Russia was testing its Bastion coastal missile system, which fired Onyx. These are supersonic anti-ship missiles meant for coastal defense. All of this footage you're seeing was shared freely by the Russian Defense Ministry. Moscow is basically sending a message.
We see that the United States of America are trying to maintain their global military and political dominance at any cost. With their aggressive actions, the United States are seeking to achieve a tangible military advantage and thereby break the existing security architecture and balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. In fact, the United States are provoking an arms race.
Putin says that the U.S. is provoking an arms race, and his drills seem to say that the race is on. He's not backing down. Think about the scale of the exercise. Let's pull up the map for you to look at how the drills are spread. Russia has multiple naval bases in most of the regions. It even has a base in the Mediterranean in the city of Tartus in Syria. So Putin was not bluffing. He really can hold drills in 5 seas simultaneously, maybe more. Right now, though, the biggest theater for the drills is the Pacific. That's where the bulk of the Russian naval forces are, and they aren't alone. China is also taking part in Ocean 2024. This is the first of at least 2 joint drills being held this month. After participating here, China will host its own drills called Northern Interaction 2024. These will take place in late September. So that's 2 joint drills, 2 joint Russia-China naval exercises, back to back. It's definitely a message to the West. And the US has taken note, but Washington is trying to play it cool.
These are 2 nations that don't have a long history of working well together, certainly not militarily. These are 2 nations that don't necessarily fully trust one another in the region or beyond, or around the world. So we'll watch it and monitor, but there's no, there's no dramatic, imminent concern about it.
Well, he may be right. The cooperation is not exactly dramatic. Look at the numbers. Russia says the ongoing exercise involves 90,000 military personnel, over 400 ships and vessels, 125 aircraft, and over 7,500 units of weapons and equipment. These were the figures given by the Russian Navy chief. And how much is China's contribution? 3 ships, 1 vessel, and 15 aircraft. That's what the Russian Navy said. So 4 out of 400 warships are Chinese, 1%. That's really stretching the definition of joint in joint drills. The Chinese Navy is basically on an internship. The Russians have real combat experience. China does not, unless you count harassing neighboring countries. So Beijing wants its troops to learn something from the Russians. It's certainly beneficial for China. But will this help Russia in the long run? Maybe not militarily, but it will help them diplomatically. It helps Moscow send a powerful message to the West. It shows them that Russia is not alone and that Western efforts to isolate it have failed.